tradition when I made this. Christmas, New Year's, family gatherings, whatever. Every time we show up, we say we care about what's going on here. We care about the people that are here. Your work affirms you. So the work that you do every single day shows you what you care about. Think about that. Work satisfaction as personal foundation. It has to be satisfying. 60% of America's workforce is unsatisfied with their job. They're unengaged. You do not want to be unengaged in work. You want to be very engaged at work because it's going to be a large portion of your life if you're a responsible person. Work that helps people you care about builds pride and stability. You got to be proud of your accomplishments. Okay? But if you don't work, if you don't show up consistently, you got to have an inner foundation. Without meaningful work, personal conversations and relationships lose backbone, they lose depth without the meaningful work. I mean, think about the amount of people that you're like, you talk about work and they're like, oh, I don't know. And then those same people are like, yo, you want to go and have fun? It's like, oh, it's the same thing. You understand? It's the same thing. If you're not excited about going to work, you're probably not going to be excited very much about your own life, about the fun things that are happening there. I'm telling you. It literally comes down to how deeply you can engage with your own life. Use it. One identity across all settings. That's what I'm trying to establish here. You're the same person everywhere you go. You, this amazing thing that you are, you're the same thing everywhere you go. Okay, when you're producing, when you're working, when you're doing the hard stuff, all the stuff you do in your personal life comes in. The hobbies, the disciplines, all that stuff comes in. When you go home, the way that you showed up at work comes in. People will notice that. Work shapes your self image, your self respect, and how you show up to your personal life. Okay, the standards you keep at your job become the standards in your personal life. Misalignment shows up as weakness. Don't be misaligned, guys. Don't be over here like, oh, stuff I do in my private life doesn't, no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know if I sit there and smoke weed all day. No one's gonna know if I'm an asshole to my parents. No one's gonna know. Dude, the smart people are gonna know. Can't hide that stuff. What part of your life gets weaker when you work feels meaningless? For you right now, maybe work is showing up to school. Right? Like you gotta go to class. Oh, class sucks. Gotta go sit there and listen to bullshit for like so many hours. Oh, okay. Well, why don't you just record the lecture and then I don't know, build something cool on the side. Listen to it on while you drive home or something. Okay, class is so boring. Pay attention. Maybe the professor has some sort of wisdom to say. Maybe if you raised your hand and asked the question, the class would be more interesting to you. What you put in is what you get out. The quality of your questions determine the quality of the answer you get. Skills and usefulness create earned respect. Okay, you need tangible skills. Tangible. Do you know how to make a Google spreadsheet and organize it properly and make sure that everything looks the same? Okay. If you don't, go learn it. It's a tangible skill. People need it. A lot of people don't know how to do that. Work shapes self image through standards, service, and performance. What are your standards for yourself? Do you start something and not finish it? You better start doing your damn laundry and fold that shit. Okay? You better start doing something consistently and have a higher standard. Raise your definition of average, my friend. Respect is earned through consistency and showing up with prowess. Get 1% better daily. Want a good book for that? Atomic Habits by James Clear. You don't got the inspiration? Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Becoming exceptionally useful in your craft improves how life feels overall. The people that are really good at what they're doing are showing up in a different way. You can feel their energy. How you show up and how you help people, right? Not just like the technical skill of doing it, but how you inject your soul into helping people. That affects your self respect. Stress is a good thing. I'm telling you, if you don't have ample amounts of stress in your life, or at least things that you are excited about that stress you out, if you haven't chosen your stresses, it's a better way to say it, you're going to be miserable. A certain amount of stress is required to feel alive. Discomfort keeps life interesting. If you're not working out, go work out. And then tell me you feel worse after you worked out. Okay, go work out and tell me you feel worse after you worked out. Why do you feel good after you work out? Because you stressed yourself out in a good way. I genuinely believe our 20s are about finding our stress thresholds. Okay? How much can we push ourselves? Push, 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 push. How much can we push until we need some rest? And then we push some more, and then we need some rest. And then we push some more, and then we get to a point where, like, this feels good. This amount of push feels good in life. I like this. And then you push some more. That's what sustaining is. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And you got to figure out what your sustain pace is. But you got to push first. And I promise you, it's way more than you think it is. It's probably it's probably 10 times more than you think it is. What your sustained pace is. You're like, nah, this is good. It's good for you right now. I get it. Maybe, but you're here for a reason. Unmanaged stress leaks into personal life and damages time with people who care. Learn to let your stress out consistently through hobbies, etc. When you do push past your point, what do you do to heal yourself? What do you do to recover? Hobbies are freaking good, okay? If you don't have any hobbies, get a hobby, okay? You're gonna have to retire someday. You don't want to fall back to something you love doing. The seep when work spills into love. It happens. It happens all the time. People work their ass off and they lose their personal lives. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. Why? Your work affirms you, right? That's what this is about. I hope, I hope who you are is someone that cares about the relationships in your life. Okay? If you're not honest with yourself, stress destroys your personal life. Okay? If you're stressed out, you got to be able to vent that to someone that cares. Okay? If you don't have friends that do that stuff, find some better friends. They're not always going to be significant others either. Don't put all your shit on your significant other. Okay? They got their own stuff going on. You need friends, you need colleagues, you need places to vent, get that stuff out. There's I read in The Wheel of Time, this guy, he had liked working with his hands to think through things through. Sometimes you need to feel things through. It's not enough to just think about them. Not talking about work stress is dangerous over time, guys. You need friends. If you don't have friends, get a fucking therapist and then go and make some friends. Hobbies. Keep your hands and your mind busy. Also, take some time to be still. Take some time to be still. 99% of an atom is empty space, guys. Emptiness. Find emptiness in your life. It's a beautiful contrast. You need people willing to sit with you and hear you out in the mud. They're just going to sit there and listen. You don't want comments. You don't want a problem solver. Great freaking song. Slim Dan, Problem Solver. Go check it out. Sometimes you need to sit with yourself and hear you out. That's what the silence is for. That's what the void is for. Okay? Because your thoughts aren't you. Don't forget it. Your thoughts aren't you. They're just a part of you. Communication prevents stress from compounding. Okay, so the way you talk to yourself is everything. Are you using positive words? Are you calling yourself a bitch? Are you saying you're ugly? Are you saying you got not good enough? You fucked up again, right? Are you beating yourself up in your head? Are you saying, you know what? Yeah, You made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. You got this. You got this, homie. You're looking good today. Look at that. You got a haircut. Nice. Are those some muscles I see? Pretty good. Good job. You're not your thoughts, guys. But the words you use in your head matter. You want to be a good friend. It wants to be a good place in there. Okay. Communication at work helps solve problems more elegantly and efficiently, guys. If you're going through something in your personal life, you're not telling your boss, kind of fucking up. You're not being fair to your boss. You're not being fair to your colleagues. Okay. If something in your personal life is stressing you out, they need to know that. Okay. Now, don't expect everyone to roll over and be like, oh, you got a personal life problem. Here we go. Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, dude, my personal life. And then they stop showing up to work. Okay. No. Grow up. Shared understanding with teammates and management lowers unnecessary stress and increases production/value. You are a contributor to the ecosystem. Structure and discipline, guys. Basic stuff. Okay. What's one skill you could build this month that would make you undeniably useful? How could your work affirm you? What's one skill you could build this month that would make you undeniably useful? I made a video a while back about how our family is a really, really good way to understand human nature. And I realized after working, because if you just pay attention to your family, you'll see certain trends and other people will have those trends. The cool thing about work is that it can also be a classroom for you in the sense that, yeah, you're doing the work, but if you pay attention to how people are associating, you pay attention to how people are communicating, you pay attention to how you show up and how that changes things, your tone, the way that you articulate yourself, right? The emotional things that other people go through. Okay, this person's not that consistent, but this person's really consistent. This person has a lot of energy. This person doesn't have that much energy. What's going on? Pay attention. Ask the person with the energy what's happening in your personal life. They'll tell you some stuff. You'll be like, wow, no wonder you have so much energy. You wake up at what time? Work exposes us to archetypes of people we would otherwise never meet. Expression of humanity. Work towards a common goal with strangers teaches us social skills and how to build properly. Hopefully, you're working on a project. Project based work, in my opinion, is the most important way to learn. Okay, be on a project, get it done, execute. Mentors and bosses can teach deeper lessons through their actions, right? Your goal is not to be your boss, your goal is to learn from your boss. Your goal is not to be your mentor, it's to learn the philosophy of the mentor, to apply it to your life. Choose a place that respects you and grows your potential. Very important. Not every place is like that. But it's also your job to make it that place sometimes, especially if you want to be a business owner. If you want to be a leader, try to change the thing that you're in. If your growth is blocked, you got to move forward. Your soul, it wants you to grow. Do you feel valued where you are? Does your work affirm you? Do you feel valued where you are? If you do feel valued where you are, did you tell someone that you feel valued? That might change your boss's day. Oh, thanks. I'm glad. I'm glad you're enjoying it. If you don't like it, don't just be like, I don't like working here. Fuck you, bruh. Be like, maybe if we did this a little bit differently, it'd be nice to work here. And if the response back is go screw yourself, go find some place that doesn't tell you to screw yourself. Actualize your potential, guys. I'll see you at the next one.